And how we doing tonight, or this morning, depending, or this afternoon, depending on where you are. You know, been doing pretty good. Got a package in. One of the pieces we were missing for our final construction. This has, for the cartographer, it has the cartographer end on one side, and the itty bitty teeny tiny PSTZH connectors already crimped and ready to go into the Nighthawk tool head. So that made me happy. I did not have to crimp these. I do want to give a shout out to Mike and those that told me about these. I went and did some of the crimping off stream, and I used the iWis crimps instead of the ratcheting crimps. And oh my god, this made it so much easier. I could actually see where the wire was and see where it was going, and it just, boop, done. You know, it was just 1, 2, okay, we're done. So big shout out there. Let's see, gotta wait for a few more people to come in. I see GoTo and Mad Dog here in chat already. Down Under, how you doing? I have been waiting.
And I'm here too.
All day for this. We sat here and went to like a little Louisiana Cajun restaurant type thing for lunch. I had the fried catfish with a crawfish etouffee over rice. Oh, it was so good. Oh, that hit the spot. I didn't get to drink this while I was at work today because I was saving it for stream. Give people a bit longer to come in. But yeah, so this is going to be such a time saver because I don't think you guys wanted to see me even attempt to crimp these ZH connector after the nightmare that I had.
It should have been posted earlier, Down Under.
Yeah, should have been posted earlier, and I think I now put in Discord. I think I even put in your Discord. Yeah, it's in your Discord for the community stream announcements too, so I don't know. Down Under, that is one of the things I don't have yet. That and a microscope. I actually do want to get a microscope. If anything, just to get one of those little PC ones that you can hold over something, so that way I can really zoom in on things like the pressure advance test, or the pressure advance test, and see, you know, what the separation of the lines look and everything. Maybe YouTube is being YouTube and it's not promoting. We'll have to see. Because I know YouTube has been doing some weird things lately with people. So what I went and did off stream is I actually looked up for the Nevermore on, you know, where heat sets go and things like that, which funny enough, the thing that I found, you know, we stopped last week because the screws that were here, it called for the M3x8, or yeah, the M3x8 flush heads. This kit does not come with them, but the M3x6s that it does come with fit perfectly fine. And there are actually heat sets in the fan that, you know, aren't mentioned anywhere in the manual because the manual doesn't have the Nevermore build, but they're not in the CAD either, so be aware of that. I tried just for, you know, give it the old college try and see if for some reason, hey, I was thinking dumb and tried putting these in without heat sets, and yeah, the holes are too big. They will not grip. So you do need heat sets in the fan. There are also 2 heat sets here in the top. The big thing with these is you must put in the screws first before you put those heat sets in. Otherwise, these top screws will actually run into the heat sets and you won't be able to get them in. So that was fun, sitting here removing heat sets to put them back in. Oh, Down Under is getting me with the Harbor Freight. Yeah, I might have to go by there and pick some up. Another difference between the Nevermore with the LDO kit and the regular Nevermore that goes in the Micron is this printed piece right here that has a circuit board on it that, you know, you plug everything into this, and then they actually have an umbilical that's going to plug into this board, and then we're going to run that down underneath and plug all these connectors into our Leviathan. So I thought that was kind of nice, you know, help clean up, help do a bit of cable management for people. Let's see. Still just 4 people in here, so I guess for those 4 of you that are already in here, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to move the Nevermore stuff off to the side so we can get our cartographer plugged in. And let me pick up the printer. The other thing I did while I was off stream, so you guys wouldn't have to watch me do it, is I went and crimped the ferrules onto our thermistor and our thermistor, and then crimped the JST pH onto that and the ferrules into our heater cartridge so we could get those in there. And so what we're going to do, I was sitting here taking a look at this. There is no way with the ant head and the cartographer to kind of route cables up through here. So I'm going to have to go behind the x-axis, which I really don't want to do, but I don't see any other real way to route this cable because, yeah, there's no real other channels to get in here. And now that I think about it, that might not be the best thing because I'm going to be doing sensorless homing. But nope, we'll be fine because the sensorless goes forward, not backward. So yeah, we'll be fine. We don't have to worry about bumping into the back extrusion there. So what I did see, and as kind of a path for this to kind of keep it so that it would be out of the way, is if we plug this in down here, there's a space between the motor and the spacers that is big enough for this cable, and we can just kind of take this around like so. It's just big enough for us to get around and get plugged in if I put it the right way.
How was everyone's week this week? Anyone do anything super crazy? Or have anything crazy happen to them?
All right. So that is plugged in and it's kind of nice and tucked up neat to the extrusion. So with that, we have, I'm pretty sure everything on our tool head wired up. Let's see here. Mad Dog, it's no problem. You know, the fact that you're here, that means a whole lot to me. You know, all of you that are here, that actually means the world to me. So yeah,
That's no fun.
I was gonna say, how are those tonsils doing, Mad Dog?
You know, I've had so many issues with my tonsils. I've asked my doctor multiple times to get a tonsillectomy, and they never let me. Very sad.
Mine got removed by a sham of a doctor. Sat here and had tubes in my ears as a kid, and while they were in there, he was like, "Yeah, his adenoids are swollen. You know, we should probably get those removed too." So, you know, my parents, hey, yeah, go ahead and take them. You know, I sat here and thrilled because I got a diet of ice cream and pudding. But like a month after that, the doctor left the practice, took a bunch of money and skipped the country. So we have a feeling that it wasn't needed. They weren't needed to be removed, but he did want to pad the account for him to take something. How you doing, Tom? Tom, James loved that GIF that you said. Yes, I'm a GIF person, not a GIF person.
I mean, you're doing pretty good for 110. They grew back. I'm sorry, what?
How young were you when you had them out down under? Because, to my knowledge, those aren't something that grow back, unless there's a possibility that you were.
Have we tried cutting off one of your fingers to see if that also
extremely
grows back?
young?
Maybe a finger would grow back if we chopped that off. Let's give it a shot.
Let's find out. Okay, so with the Nevermore, they actually have little grooves for the cable to come in, and then before we get this mounted into our rails, we're going to want to mount the top piece to these, and that, if I'm correct, were some M3x6s. I still have the CAD up here so I can see. M3x8s.
The only thing I
3x8s?
have had removed is my appendix. So I'm missing that. Everything else is still there, though.
Yeah, I'm the weird kid. I was the kid that played sports and everything, but I've never broken a bone.
Hey, nor have I. Look at that.
I have all my internal organs except for my adenoids, so tonsils, and
Or you could just be a normal person and call them tonsils like literally everyone else in the world.
oh, I like being scientifical.
Yes, I am very sure. Didn't you hear my voice? Don't you hear my screaming voice?
They dropped so far they fell off. Okay, so trying to get. There we go. Now it's cooperating. Once we get this in. we're going to... Oh, I don't like that. We're going to loosen this side up and shift it up a bit. There we go. It was sitting a bit proud on the bottom here, but now we are nice and flush. Let's give those a little bit of an ugga-dugga. Good.
Do I want to know how you have all your original party parts and extras?
Toes.
But even if you are born with extra toes, they're still your originals, right? Like, you can't say that's an extra body part. It's still your original body part.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the other half. And even though I will never be putting the little carbon filter balls in here or anything of that nature, I'm still going to put this on so that way,
But why not?
as the air is going through, it kind of dissipates it so that way it can sit here and circulate the air through the chamber.
Okay, why did I think when you get a pacemaker, they remove part of your heart? Like, I thought it went in place of a part of your heart. Clearly, I'm obviously wrong. I understand that now, but like, why did I think that?
I blame the American school system.
To be fair, most things can be blamed on that around here.
Okay. We have our nice set of magnet disc. N35s. So we should just be able to push those in. Okay, and yep. Those are good there, so we're gonna push in some on the other side. Now, why I have so many magnets, I don't know. But they gave me all these magnets. If I don't need them in the build, I'm not going to say no to extra magnets.
Because magnets are cool and no one knows how they work. That's why.
Okay, so with this, I'm making sure that they're pushed all the way in. And then these just feed up from the bottom. Should just push up all the way. There's a bit of a tight fit that I have here. Hmm.
What?
I'm trying to think the best way.
You think? That's funny.
Yeah, I know. I do it every so often.
I don't think you do. I think you're lying to me.
Take and put the cover on here. That's going to give us a nice flat surface and get our bench vise out. Let's see if we can press those into place. One bench vise. Or technically it's a milling vise, but I liked it because it was nice and slim and low profile.
And cheap.
And cheap. It was cheap.
I promise you, neither of us are the thinker. We don't need one around here.
And there we go. That worked. Yay! So, and that just holds those together.
Echo knits.
Cool. All right.
Really funny if you put them in the wrong way.
That would be hilarious.
That's probably why they give you so many extra.
Okay, so the next one is going to be this little piece, and I'll get this back up here so you guys can see. It just slides in, and there's an extra little notch here to hold that cable down. And then we have two little holes that we are going to screw in. Let's see here. Let me just catch up with chat, because down under, just like you, I am working on getting better at this too. Menopause. That's a good one. That's what I needed. Okay. So, on the CAD,
there has been a lot of really cool stuff in hearing aids. It's funny that I know that, 'cause
in
I don't
3 by
need hearing
8.
aids. There's been a lot of cool stuff coming out in hearing aids recently.
They've actually gotten fairly inexpensive. You can buy a pair of do-it-yourself hearing aids for like $300 now.
I mean, some of them are pretty much just, wireless earbuds.
A lot of them are now. I've got a family member that has them, and they literally hook up with Bluetooth via the phone, and they are effectively just earbuds with mics. So, AirPods or the little Samsung. Uh-oh. Someone's killing James. I gotta see here. Okay, I'm looking here. You could really start confusing her and telling them that they're American biscuits. There's a slight difference between them, but yeah, really start confusing her in that way. Okay, so our little top piece is in. And this piece just slides in, and there is a directionality to this. We want this way, because that way the hexagons line up. Oh. We have an investigator. Oh. I have a shedding cat. I would do the treats thing, but she's not much of a treats person. She'll go after catnip, but I don't need a stoner cat right now. You're stuck on my
cat
shirt.
wouldn't go after catnip?
There are some cats that don't like catnip.
Drugs. Literally drugs.
There are some cats that do not like catnip.
I haven't actually looked at what's in catnip.
Catnip.
Could a human get high off of it?
I don't know. But River, the
Perfect spot.
oh.
And now you are stuck forever and ever.
There we go. Down she go. Well, she put a hole in the shirt. This will forever be the river shirt now. Uh-oh. Tom, I'm going to ask 2 questions. 1, can I show it on stream? And 2, is it safe to show on stream? Okay, so now we need to make our little Wago holder. Okay. Should be maybe.
I'm not sure how I feel about a maybe.
All right, good. I will pull it up here real quick. I'm going to let James be the judge of that. What do you think?
I mean, it is just a tool. Just like you are.
Well, Tom says I need to print that for you.
I mean, you're the tool here, so, you know. Are those at least 2 different sizes?
This is what I like to see, a nice friction fit. Oh, I didn't get it. That's what she said.
No, not for that one.
Oh. Okay. We have our Wagos all together. Now,
I don't want to tighten my nuts. That would hurt.
something I did discover as I was going through and trying to prepare for today's stream is the preloads that they have you do on the inner rails take into account that you're doing a Nevermore. But the original way that Micron has you do it is they have one of these Wagos under in the electronics bay instead of up top here. And so they didn't tell you to preload the 2 extra nuts. I went out ahead and printed out some extras before stream and put them on here. Something else I discovered as I was going through is 1, the Z chain that attaches to this back gantry. They don't have that you need to put preload nuts in there, but LDO thought of that and actually sent slide-ins in the kit. So, I was looking earlier for, hey, I should order these things. Well, it turns out the kit comes with it. So, okay, so we're going to turn this so I can actually see where these are. And does LDO give this M3x8 button heads? Good. This time they actually tell us. I like that. No trial and error. Okay, I'm probably going to need to grab the ball head one because I do not think I'll actually. Nope, that will not fit in there. I'm going to grab the ball head. If the stream goes down today, it's because we lost power. Because I am hearing,
as is with most days,
the lightning outside. Okay, so did I find the drop-in? Nope. There we go. There's one in. I don't know if that is picking up on stream. James tells me it's not, but yeah, it's... They're pulling some strikes upstairs.
Zeus is very angry at you today.
Because I didn't eat my Wheaties. Okay. There we go. So for now, I'm going to leave this a little bit loose. That way I can move it around if we need to. And then with our bed, there's actually some pieces we need to screw into the bed.
So I got a question for y'all. Out of all of the options out there, whether it be Index, the Snapmaker U1, Toolhead Changer on a Voron, whatever it is, what do you think is the most useful multi-filament / multi-tool head printer / mod? Because I want to print in multicolors, and I want to know y'all's opinion on the best way to do that.
You know what you could do?
No. The reason I can't do that is because there will be too many options to put in a poll. I can think about things. I have a brain sometimes. I said sometimes.
What does it say? You? Brain? What?
Yeah, I got to go see the wizard, didn't you hear?
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
Exactly.
He is a whiz, a wonderful whiz, if ever a whiz there was. Okay. That feels like it's all the way in, but also we aren't touching all the way. So this screws in here, and it's threaded. I'm guessing that thread is where all the heat goes, but I would like to have that thread go all the way in. That way I can get that entire brass touching the plate, because the actual thermistor there, well, I guess that is just a thermistor.
So far we got one for stealth changer.
Okay. So there are apparently two different versions of this board, and what you need to look at are these two right here. So the THB and the THP, if they're next to them, you have the first batch, and if they are separated like this, you have a second batch. And in mine, they are separated. So I have a second batch, so I'm going to be going with the second batch instructions. So with this, here, that's SSR. Let's see here. Digital Dragon, how you doing? Welcome on in. Yeah, you could go kind of a single tool head filament changer. You know, you're going to waste a bit of filament that way, yeah. But at that point, it is fairly easy. Okay, so from underneath, the earth goes on the bottom one. The SSR goes to this bottom one, and our neutral goes to the bottom one. I'm sensing a theme there. On here, we are going to try and get the Nevermore at least screwed in.
So the thing is, I don't care, because either way, it's going to be for that gentleman over there to figure out. Whether it's a build, whether it's a pre-built, whatever we end up, whatever I decide, it's going to be his problem.
Isn't he so nice to me? So what I can say is, if I'm going to have to deal with it, something I would like to do would be to have multiple tool heads. Just because I would like to be able to do supports.
Why do you need multiple tool heads for that?
Because, like, for instance, if you're printing PLA and PETG don't mix, and they won't stick to each other. But running them through the same nozzle, the amount of purge you need to do is insane to do a swap. It's not that it can't be done, it is just insanely inefficient. Okay, so with this here, okay, that needs to be there because that is lined up right with our front. So we're going to tighten that down there so we have our position locked. River has decided to explore every bit of the studio except for the desk.
No, she was just perching.
Okay, so we have that. That just slides out. Cool. That is in there. So now, apparently this bed, we're going to take our build plate off. And uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I heard a screw drop.
You sure it was a screw?
Yep, it was coming through the bed. I found the drop screw. It fell under the printer. Okay. So, we need to take the 2-bed thermistors? What? Aha. Okay, so the one coming off of the back is bed TH. They're both bed TH. Huh? Huh.
Are you okay?
No. Okay, so all right, the one coming off the middle of the bed is our red line.
Caleb has a question for you.
Caleb, it's because I like to take my time. And, you know, if I'd finished already, you wouldn't be able to sit here and watch me struggle. And then you couldn't, like, sit here and make fun of me for struggling. Okay, so this one is going to attempt to allow my fat fingers to get this in. Whether that's going to happen in a timely manner.
Might actually finally have a bed.
There we go.
It's so
Okay.
close. So close.
So this bed thermistor goes in right by the umbilical. Okay. The bed protected earth goes into top one. Bed live goes into the top middle. And bed neutral goes into the top bottom. Okay, those are all latched down now. And then our fan on both of these plugs into the same one. Let's see here. Let's see. Going through. Mad Dog, you're not exactly what sure versions they are, so make it a bit hard to identify what bits you need. You have a BTT MMB CAN board. Okay. So you can, yeah, Caleb's saying you can use it on there. Oh, down under. That sucks. I can feel for you because I remember going through and trying to prep my little trash can and getting right near the end, and we lost power, and I have none of these things on battery backups. Okay, we're not quite doing the LED strip, but we do need to grab our umbilical. And get that plugged in. And for those of you that weren't in here earlier, what LDO has done is they made a board to go back onto the back of the Nevermore that then allows you to take, your 110s obviously go into the Wagos, but all of your connectors, like your thermistor, your filter fan, and all of that, and even RGB, which don't know where that's coming from, but those now sit here and we get to feed in the hole.
Okay, but the real question is there really a wrong side of Australia? I mean, it seems like pretty much all of it's better than where we live, so.
Nah, it seems to be about the same. Crazy people, insane heat,
Education?
animals that want to kill you.
You heard of the American education system?
I got educated.
I knew that I can do those words, kid.
Okay, so now that we have all of that kind of fed down in, let's get our bed mounted finally. That's going to make James happy. Okay, so we have our bed mounts.
Come on now. I love snakes. Danger noodles are friends. Even the ones that can kill you, they're friends. You just gotta not make them angry. And friend.
Okay. Well, I think the socket heads that they sent with this are a bit too long. They're saying M3x16. That is what came in here. But there is that. There's about a 2 mil gap between the offset Yeah, crap. Between the offset and the bed. So we're going to try some shorter screws here. Well, those are 16s. I happen to have some M3 by 12s. So, you know, 4 mil shorter, 2 mil gap. By my math, that should work. Okay, so let's get these distances measured out. So from this back one to the center, we should have 88 millimeters.
I love the fact that the way that this guy talked about these snakes is they work on the US defense strategy. That is the best way to say, hey, if you come near us, you're gonna die.
Did you just watch the YouTube video?
I'm working on it currently.
Okay, I'm just trying to get this to 88 mil exactly. Here we go. I had it. There we go. So now apparently we need from the end of the extrusion, or no, from the inside of, wow, that's going pretty far up. So apparently, got to get a top-down view for this.
I don't know, man. That snake seems like a good time.
About there.
He's just stealing your property. What's wrong with that? Come on. In fact, the property has always been that snake's. You're not. He's not stealing it. You're stealing it from him. He's just taking it back.
Okay, so apparently in the back there, that's where we need to be. That is, yeah, they moved that bed pretty far forward. That gives you plenty of room to travel in the back, so 88 mils there and 25 mils in the front. Let's see here. I was a Mad Dog. I haven't had any experience with a ERCF yet.
Also, apparently the CC1 has excellent power recovery. To your point earlier.
Okay, so we need 25 mil. $25 mil. Up there. And now we go on the other side. Okay. Now, if that's all good, those should all line up. M3x12s. Let me try these instead of the 16s. Okay. And yes, M3x12 fits a lot better than those 16s. It's actually going and matching up, and we are getting all the way against those standoffs. Let's see here. Okay. I think I was off on one of these. Maybe two. Nope. That one we're good. Just this one I need to loosen up a bit. I was going to say, I just had my pliers. Okay.
I just want to know how much longer until we start pooping plastic.
All night.
I quit.
There we go. The bed is in. Tool head is all wired up. So let's flip this over.
Do you have the skirts and everything printed already?
I do.
So we're gonna get a screen on tonight?
Bruce probably should.
Cool.
My goal for the night, I want to get it powered up. Okay. All right. So we got that side in. We need to actually, before we tighten that down, let's get our umbilical all kind of untangled from here. Leave him 3x6 button heads.
But down under, you see, it's funnier
Should be.
if we put the screen on and then there's an issue. That's got to be fixed. That's even more funny.
James just wants to see me suffer.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, that's one. Two. Get this tightened on in. Mad Dog and or Down Under. Yeah, it was Down Under. Sorry, didn't line that up properly. I definitely agree. Screen is definitely going to be one of the last things I put on because it can be damaged so easily.
Yeah, but it's funnier if it does get
Mad
damaged.
Owl, how you doing? Okay. Okay, now I have to go back to the Micron for their wiring. And find out where all of these things get plugged in.
See, that's the funny part, is they just don't.
Yeah. Okay. Crap. They want it run up through the middle.
Sucks, loser. Get wrecked.
Take the power supply back off. Take these and get them untangled from the ground.
Caleb is rooting for you. That makes one of us.
Caleb, I knew you had me. He's rooting for me, and yet at the same time, doubting me.
No, just because a fear exists doesn't mean it is because of doubt.
Okay. I have one cable through. 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that everything?
Down Undermaker gets it.
That is, in fact, everything. Yes! We got our cables to the other side. Okay, I'm not going to tighten that down again, but I am going to get those screws locked so it can kind of hold it. Okay. Smoke equals clicks. It does. It does. Drive safe, Digital Dragon. Last thing we need is to hear about another accident. So, okay. So with these, our filter comes in, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 comes into this one. Let's see here. What's the next one I grab? THB.
Sounds like a type of tape.
THB.
Must be related to VHB.
Skips one. And then plugs in. I grabbed RGB next, which goes next to THB. THP goes up a row. And bed fan gets plugged in next to the filter. What the bed fan is, I am trying to figure out, but
The fan just installed.
no, that'd be the filter. Let me go back up here and take a look at that little breakout board. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess they have it so that you can do a different fan later on. Because even the filter fan is plugged into fan 2. So maybe filter actually isn't plugged into anything. And it's a useless pen. But we might be able to find a use for it later.
Just like me.
Those were Z motors. We're all done with that. We're done with that. Okay, we don't have the LED strip, but we do have our skirt with the PCB fans on here, and
That keyboard is very precarious sitting right there.
that better?
Not really.
Okay. Take our fans and plug them into our splitters. So one goes there. No, because there's actually a separate cable that comes from this one and goes over. And I am not sure what size we're going to need for those. We're probably going to want button heads though. So let me grab some M3x12s. Let's try those. Okay, M3x12 is too short. So M3 by, nope, those are socket heads. M3x16s I only have 2 of. Let's check our little bin here. Don't have any button heads left in there. I did kind of get organized today and put everything up over, but let me see. Well, let's just see if the M3x20s are the right size, and then I will, if they are, I shall go looking for other screws in my box of screws. I think the M3x20s are going to be too long. Yeah. So probably M3x16s is what we're going to want. So let's try them and see how they do. M3x12 was too short. Okay, yep. M3x16 is what we're going to want. So let me go into the 2.4 box and see if I have any M3x16 button heads. M5x16. M3x6. Whole big bag of M3x8s. M3x30 socket heads. M3 by 20 socket heads.
You're a socket head.
M5 by 16.
Also, Mad Dog, no, I appreciate it, but no, that does not count.
Okay. Apparently I don't have those. So let's do this. I have M3 by 16 socket heads. They'll stick out a little bit more. But we at least have enough of them to do 4 quarters. While 4 quarters may not be necessary, I've got the heat set inserts in there to do them.
I mean, I will say congratulations on pushing plastic, though.
Let's see here. Getting our fan in, and poly. Caleb, I missed something apparently.
R/whoosh.
R/whoosh. Well, Caleb, this cable management is nowhere near done.
See, that's what you said last time, and then I don't think you ever fixed it.
Okay, I believe PCB fan, yep. Okay. We're doing a little bit of cable management here by doing some interlocking of these cables. We'll hold them tight. Wait, like a tiger.
If you say so, boss.
I think James is too young to know that movie. Okay. Now, look like so. That's going to go to the middle. That's going to be our corner. Let's see here. Out of it. That is messed up, Caleb. Okay, so let's see here. I do not know what size screw we should be using. On these, but let's find out. They want us to use M3x8. Okay.
Well, Mad Dog, I hope it goes well for you. It's always interesting trying something new.
Okay. This. I think this is a bit of a nightmare to tighten. Let me see. Nope, that one's too big. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is unplug our fan, so hopefully we can get a driver down in there. Nope, we're going to need to completely undo our little fan bracket. Even get the driver down in there. 1.5 mil driver. Where did I put my 1.5 mil driver? I think I have an extra. That's 1.27. That's 2 mil. That's a 1.5. I take our PCB off of here. And that way we can get down and get that screw and tighten the skirt. Two mil at least.
At least.
Okay, so there's our 2 mil, and then I need to get the skirts. The outside, because while I don't need to tighten these down, I would like them there for spacing. Let's see here. Oh. Your first color change print ever. It's going to be the flag for Dodgers. That is a worthy thing to be a first print for multicolor. Okay, so that right there is the spot that we want this tightened in on. Okay, so our fan is now tightened in the right spot. Now we get to sit here and try to get the PCB reattached. That's too low. Okay. I have the strangest feeling it's going to be easier to get the top one in first. Okay, so there we go. It was easier to get that top one in first. Now, magnets. Where did my... There it is. We're going to magnetize the tip here, so hopefully we'll hold on to our screw. And we just need to give this a little bit more tightening. Okay. Fans plugged in. Plug one. A plug two. A plug three. Crunch. Okay, and then this fan goes into the third one in. Okay. Let's see here now. Is there anything else we're missing? Well, we had the LED strip, but we're not plugging that in because I need to reprint a part for that. We've already got our SSR to signal. Yep, so we got our SSR and all that plugged in. I am going to, there we go. That's a better connection. So we already got all that wiring. Yep, so we're done there. need to get our umbilical to go to the tool head. Should be in the cables box. Okay, so just pulling up some slack here so I can get this routed through. Trying to keep it nice and low. This under the motor. Okay. And then our umbilical. Plugs in like so. Way too much slack in there. We're going to pull some of that back out. And we didn't have that mounted before because they didn't tell us to put the preloads in there, but now that I know we have these slide-ins, let's see if we can get these slide-ins in. Mad Dog, that is scary that it didn't do that for you. But yeah, like Caleb said, at least you caught it.
Scary? How? I don't know if scary was the right adjective to use there.
Ruining the entire print if you didn't catch it.
If you say so, boss.
Yay.
This guy can't make up his mind if he wants to sit or stand. Trying to give me more work, that's what he's doing.
Yep. Exactly what I'm doing. Making you earn that paycheck.
Wow. A paycheck of $0? I appreciate it.
Well, you could say at least you've earned nothing.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Okay. There's X driver. That one. That is our size X driver. So we're gonna unplug the umbilical from that side and the USB from this side to give me room. Try and get this tightened into those slide ends. And you know what? I think what I'm going to do...
To be fair, Mad Dog,
grab
at least I can say sometimes.
a hex bit. In 3x8. And see if this little hex bit is the right size. Nope, that one's too small. That's the right size.
All right, listen. I don't know how young you think I am, but it ain't child labor, if anything.
Good Lord. You know, the roll-ins go in, but they are not the easiest things to line up, but I think I got one started.
You know,
Nope, I did not.
actually don't believe that. Tom just said anyone can train a monkey, and I don't believe that. What about you?
Depends on what you're training them to do. Did I get this? Haha, I got one. Now I get to do it all over again. Nope, that is not lined up. Okay. Did I get this one lined up? No, I did not. Well, we got one in. That should at least be enough to hold it in. Now the question is can I get the one that's I'm not going to be using out? I can.
Woot woot.
Okay, so plug in the umbilical. Grab our USB-C. Get that plugged in. Okay. We may not be able to print, but we might be able to get power. So,
Why can't we print?
because I got to get it all set up, and I'm missing a Z chain.
Well, fix that.
Well, the Z chain and all that I can do off stream.
But then we can't print. We gotta print.
But let's see here, because we're at 9:30. I would like to do at least this get powered up. Okay, we have Ethernet plugged in. Now I need some power. Go find some power real quick.
You know, with it stuff being so much closer to Karen than the 2.4, they kind of look like they're about the same size. That's pretty funny.
All right. Power switch is off. Before we do this,
I just said, well,
I have to start a poll.
magic smoke, magic smoke. Also, chat, didn't hear anything that I just said. So, I just said that with how close the Micron is to the camera, it kind of almost looks like the same size as the 2.4. And I think that's really funny.
That was the Vice. How you doing, Nemesis? Hey, better late than never.
Come on now, 2 of you voted for You Got This? Ay, ay, ay. Here we go.
But Nemesis, you might have come in at the best time. Nemesis, I'm pretty sure my Micron can fit inside my 2.4 as well.
There we go. There we go. Think of the view.
We got 4 votes in. I'm pretty sure there's more than 4 of you here. Yeah, we got 12. Let's see. According to my thing, we got 12 people watching. Yep, 12 watching. 8 likes. Come on. We're almost about to power this thing up. That's got to be worth a like. Nemesis, yeah, the 2.4 back there is a 350. Still just 4 votes on 12 viewers. Up 5 votes.
Thank you, Caleb, for bringing up what really matters.
Caleb, the cable management won't matter if it doesn't power up properly.
Except it does, but that's okay.
All right, we're plugging in. Okay. And flip the power.
Up.
So let me hop into my
You know, Mad
system
Dog,
here.
if I had the money, maybe I would have.
And see.
But unfortunately, I live in Florida, where nobody has money.
If we get a IP address, so that looks like the new one.
Did you even put the SD card in the Pi?
I did that a few streams ago.
You say so.
The big question that cord is in fact I know what I forgot.
Your sanity. Also very true, Nemesis. Very true.
You know, when powering up the Pi, it helps if the Pi has power. Down under, I know you don't like these things, but this is what I have right now. Let's see here. Cody, is that in response to somebody, or are you asking what the printer is? Okay. Now the Pi should be able to get power. And when it powers on, it should give us an IP address. So Cody, that is a hat for the LDO gives you for the Pi 4, and they also give you one for the Pi 5 that you can get power for the Pi from the Leviathan board. You know, Down Under is actually very against them because they can sit here and actually provide less power than needed. And so, like, for instance, in the V0 back there, I went and with the LDO compact power supply, it has a 5-volt rail. I took a USB-C pigtail and powered the Pi off of the 5-volt rail that way. Okay. So now that we did that,
I don't
we're going
love
to check
pie.
our
Can I have
wired
pie?
clients.
Nemesis
And
wants pie. I want pie.
you had a chance to get keyline pie.
I understand, but I had bread pudding. But now I want pie.
Okay, I'm just waiting for a new IP address to show up. That would be it. So, let us try and see if we can get into this. Oh. That is the IP address that this is giving me.
Bread pudding is so good. Bread, custard, that's all you need.
Nemesis, I thought when I had it, I thought it tasted like monkey bread.
I really don't understand how you got that from it, but okay. It was custard. Monkey bread doesn't have anything close to custard. I don't get it. Why'd you break it?
Didn't do it on purpose. I do know that sometimes the first boots can take a bit. So
I was
we're
going to
gonna
say it's a Raspberry Pi. It's probably just taking 50 years to boot up.
well, for the first boot, yeah, they can take some time. 10.2.181.3. Yep, that is the VLAN it's supposed to be on. Funny thing is, this Pi's not going to stay in here for long. Caleb, I'm right there with you. Let me tilt it. I'm gonna not stick my fingers in there. I've got lights. There's lights on the Pi. There's lights on the Leviathan. I'm seeing an activity light on the Pi. The SD card is in there. and it is reporting the proper host name.
And it is formatted. So
Yeah, it's reporting the proper host name back to my router because, you know, we name all of our printers after Ubuntu, so, or after Linux. So we have Ubuntu there. The V0 is Arch, and this is OpenSUSE.
it's just
The good news is I'm not smelling the magic smoke so far. We do have lights up on our toolhead board.
That's what I said. If he just had a screen on it, like I told him to put on it, wouldn't be an issue.
Nemesis, no, I don't have it because I haven't done, besides loading Mainsail OS onto the Pi, I haven't done anything else.
I don't think he's loading at this point, gonna be honest with you.
Getting activity. All right, hey James, look me up beep or flash codes for the Pi. It's just the green light is blinking at a constant rate. It's just blink, 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 blink.
It's just your computer. I have Clipper on.
Oh, you went to the IP and it showed up? Okay. So we're going to try a different browser.
Or just close the browser and reopen it.
No, that's got all my manuals and stuff.
Or clear the cache.
10 dot. That's the other one. 10.2.181. Oh, is numlock not on? Yay! Okay. Now, does
I love how you don't finish your sentences most of the time that you speak.
I was looking to see if we have a Clipper config. Let's download a printer config, machine, upload a file. Let's go to our downloads, printer configs, open. Let's do a restart. At least it has a printer config. Unknown pin chip name THB.
I have a question for you.
Okay, what's that?
Do you know what a mud skipper is?
Yes,
Is it a fish or is it not a fish?
it's a fish.
But like, have you seen a mud skipper?
Mm-hmm. They're hideous. Okay, so we have LDO Leviathan. We have the Nighthawk 36, so we're going to need to download a few more config files. So, LDO Leviathan, let's download that. And that's Eldon. LDO Nighthawk 36. We're going to download that. Let's close that. I should have hit save. Upload some files. The two LDO configs. Okay, let's go back into the printer config. We're going to include mainsail. And I will clean this up later. Include Leviathan. Include Nighthawk.
I just have one more question. Why mud skipper gotta be like that though? Why's it gotta do that?
180 build. We're going to be using sensorless homing on this. Uncomment all this for Leviathan. Oh, so this was apparently for the Manta, so
I mean, to be
There we
fair,
go.
I also want to know why I be like that. So
I forgot there for a second what the command for mass commenting and uncommenting was. Okay, that's for the Manta. This is for Leviathan. Uncomment all that. So that's our Z-steppers. Yep, Nemesis, I got it. But thank you for letting me know. That's why I like you guys here. I don't think I need to do the ADXL because I believe that is built into the cartographer. Okay, so we do have a G2 extruder. That's nice that they put the Cardo config in there already. Okay, just going through here and see if there's anything else we need to do. Let's leave the filter fan off for now. Bed fan. I'm not sure if we should do that one yet. These are just macros. So Mad Dog, it's what Nemesis said. It's control / and that comments and uncomments. Okay. I'm not sure which slicer I'm going to be using yet. There's our print start.
How about all of the slicers?
Arc. Okay, let's save and restart and see if we get any more errors. Oh, we got another error. Oh yeah, because we need to get cartographer. Documentation. Installation setup. Software config. Mad Dog, what Howden are you using? Wasn't it the dragon? Okay. Probably gonna need to SSH to get the cartographer installed. Let's open up a terminal.
You know, if you cleaned up your desk, you'd have a spot for the keyboard.
I might have fat fingered that password. Yep. Okay. Let's do a firmware restart. firmware, configure clipper. Okay, that's for our safe home. I believe this should be our Cardo config, so we will create a file and name it cardo.cfg. Paste all that in. I need to make some edits to that, but right now I am just looking. Okay, unknown chip name THB.
That hot boyfriend? I don't know what else it could stand for. Come on, not even a little
No.
chuckle.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Mad Dog tends to get dried up filament whilst printing. That seems weird. If you're getting dried filament in there while it's printing, it almost sounds as if something's cooling and letting it harden, but if that... But yeah. Let's see the stream chat image.
That's some nice color change, though.
Yeah, the transition is pretty nice. I mean, that top, I am nowhere near an expert on this, but you know, a clog could do that, but from what I understand, if it is the print head speeding up while you're printing, like, does it get to a point where it's like, oh, I can go fast now, and it's speeding up as well? Yeah, because like Tom said, if it's speeding up, that could cause under extrusion, or you know, if for some reason it's the pressure advance is changing in the G code or something like that, that could cause your under extrusion, but let's see here. I am not sure which of these. I think the cartographer, clipper. Let's see here. So it's just PLA. Yeah, I'm not sure, Bad Dog. I'm not an expert, but you know what Nemesis says: if the stepper's getting hot, it's not pushing as fast. So lowering the amperage that you're going on that could sit here and possibly resolve that. How you doing down under? We have a conundrum on our hands from Mad Dog. So he's getting some clogs, but it's looking like some under extrusion up there near the top, and we're trying to figure it out.
Oh, believe you me, I know what Bunnings is. And anyone who doesn't, they don't need to know.
All right, so Mad Dog has put up another image. And he's got an image of what the filament looks like. So I'll take it that's what it looks like after you're done removing it from the hot end. Okay. I'm just looking to see here. So, okay, so it should be the STM. So this should be our Leviathan main board.
I have a feeling that Down Under might still be very far behind on the stream.
Okay, this is the... I have a feeling this is the part that it's not liking. Welcome in, Nemesis, to the Discord. Okay, so this is the pin that apparently it's not liking, I'm guessing. This THB. Sensor MCU THB. Let's see here. 3.2. That's the RPi 2040. No, that's definitely not ours. 2.6. I believe that might be it. Yeah, because that's cartographer. So let's copy that real quick and paste that in there because that looks more complete. And let's save and restart now that we actually have the board ID in there. Unknown chip name THB. Still.
Does it tell you where it is?
It does not. It just says unknown chip name.
That's annoying.
That's commented out, so it's not looking there. So temperature sensor THB. Sensor MCU THB. Yeah. I think Down Under is behind on stream. Okay, let's see here. So we don't need to worry about that. That's commented out. Commented. Here's another pin. Why does it keep using this THB? Tool headboard. Okay. That might be why. Devices. Does... So I think... So I didn't define it, but I think they did define it as THB. And I did not uncomment that. And now I need to find the Nighthawk board, which is not on here. Red Fox, how you doing? Welcome on in. Let's see here. Toolboard. Nighthawk 36. I cannot remember which chip this uses. I know Down Under can probably just name it right off the top of his head. Okay, so it is the RP2040, so it should be this one. Okay, let's save and restart. Okay. We have gotten through that one. So it was the fact that we hadn't uncommented the toolhead board in that yet. So now toolhead board, yep. Okay, unable to parse section X offset in section cartographer. Now the question is that going to be under the Carto config or here? We will search.
Oh yeah, Down Under is definitely behind.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have anything. Okay, cartographer, include Carto. Okay. That's all that's in there. So it's got to be under the Carto config.
Hey, thank you for joining us, Down Under. It's nice to have you here.
Hi, Down Under. Welcome to the club. Okay, so this is our cartographer. Serial by ID is there. We are not using CAN bus on this yet, but we'll comment that out. Okay. Thankfully, I did my measurements beforehand with the esoterical guide. So our X offset should be 0 because it's right in line with the nozzle. That should be 0. Our Y offset, on the other hand, is 2.
Anyways, Down Under, I did make mention of how, of course, I know what Bunnings is. And anyone who doesn't, well, heck to them.
Okay. So if we have 180 by 180, then, oh, damn it, 90 90 should be our center. So I believe 25. Is the closest we can get to the corner, and that'd be 155. Chromatic, welcome on in. How you doing?
Yes, it is Red Fox.
155.
The main reason I know about
2020
Bunnings
adaptive margin 10. That's good.
is I like to watch a certain Australian who does nothing but complain about Bunnings tools. Bunnings tools. It's very fun.
Do this as 90. Let's save and restart. Let's see what okay, new error. The sensor type in section extruder must be specified.
No, there is no Menards around in here in Florida, but I do know what it is. I for some reason know a lot of those stores.
Extruder. Okay, so what do we need to be? Heater pin. Sensor type. Okay. I am not sure which sensor this one's supposed to be. Caleb, you're more north. You're more lower Alabama.
Down under, maybe one of these days I'll get to try a Bunnings sausage roll. Been looking forward to it. Again, one of these days.
Oh, I found. So when I was going to pick up the server the other day, I found what looked like might be a decent place for actual fish and chips. We are going to have to go there some.
Doubt.
We've been doing a lot of fish and chips lately, and dousing it in vinegar, proper fish and chips. But we've been we found some very good fish. The chips are what we are having trouble finding to be done proper.
Surprisingly, the best fish and chips I've had in the state of Florida is at Epcot, Disney World.
Oh God, yeah. And he still won't let me hear the end of it because we took a to-go thing and I left the bag on the people mover.
No, it wasn't the people mover. They don't have a people mover in Epcot.
Not people mover.
You got it.
The dome.
Where do we live?
The geodesic dome.
Yes. Where do we live in our solar system?
Spaceship Earth.
There you go.
Yep. Okay, so this sensor type. Is this the... thermistor? If this is the thermistor, we should be PT 1000.
Yes, Digital Dragon, that is very true.
Sometimes we're the fourth rock. Sometimes more. Depends on if the moon's between us. No, this would be the... Okay. I am lost and can use some help.
Well, we're having like 6 different conversations right now.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
know. But the sensor type, I don't think the heater core has a sensor type. The only sensor I can think of that would be in the extruder section would be the PT1000. Let's put that as PT1000 and save and restart and see what happens. Unknown temperature sensor, PT1000. Okay, do I need to capitalize? So we have a Dragon Ultra High Flow that I've turned into a Dragon High Flow. And the temperature sensor is a PT1000. Okay, let's do the PT1000. The report startup and boom.
Now just put a build plate on there and poop some plastic. That's all I want.
Well, I've got a lot more tuning.
I don't care what it is, just poop some plastic.
I don't think it'll let me extrude until I can home.
Do it anyway.
But
Speaking of, I don't even see the Bowden tube. Do you have the Bowden tube in there?
nope.
Ay, ay, ay.
The fan definitely works. I think I am rubbing up against something. Okay, that side is what's making the noise. So that side might be rubbing up against something. But both those fans are definitely working, and ooh, that is some airflow down there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the extruder and tell it to go 50C. That turned on our hot end fan.
Oh, Caleb, you know it's all in good fun.
Let's see here. That is awesome. The extruder's heating. So yes, so Red Fox Squirrel, this little piece right here can be screwed into the hot end to give it a longer melt zone This right here is the difference between a Dragon high flow and a Dragon ultra high flow. So if you take that off, then you could turn into a high flow. I actually had to go high flow on this because since I'm using Cartographer, they don't actually make a Cartographer mount for the ant head for the ultra high flow that I found yet. When they're doing Cartographer on this, by default they want standard flow. I actually had to find someone who made a modification to that mount so I could even have the high flow on this. But our next thing to do, let's take our bed and go. Let's try it for 50C. We're going to see if this heats up. Waiting to feel, and that is heating up. Okay, so we know our bed heater's wired properly, our hot end's wired properly. I'm gonna need to go in and maybe do some adjustments because fans are rubbing. And I'm going to need to do some tuning for the sensorless homing and things of that nature. But I am pretty sure you guys don't want to watch me do that because I am pretty sure that it would be a very, very boring stream for you all. So let me go ahead and do
Caleb, of course I do. I know I do.
Shutdown of the Pi. You know, that's what. That's shut down, so we're going to power it off. Unplug from power. And we're going to take and put this on the floor. So we've got the electronics working. We haven't put plastic and everything yet. We're gonna wait. We're gonna be waiting on that because I sit here and have a project that I want to work on that I've talked about for a while, and I finally got my hands on the equipment to do it. And I don't really want to go through the process of doing all this on the Clipper printer when its controller is going to be changing. So I finally got my hands on a new server, and I'm going to do the crazy thing, and I'm going to be running virtual machines to run multiple Clipper boxes within one computer. So that way, the Voron, the 2.4, the V0, and now the Micron, and then future printers we build, instead of running off of a Raspberry Pi, are going to be running off of a full-blown computer. So the plan for next stream is to start getting that set up. What I will show for those of you that are still here, if you will bear with me real quick, I have to go to my car real quick.
Well, he just left. And now I'm left alone with all of you. I tried to get him to push some plastic. He's making a liar out of the stream title. All his fault. I tried my best. Yeah. It's actually not that hot in here right now, at least compared to last week. It's slowly starting to move into winter, very slowly. Oh, hey, look who decided to show up for his stream.
James, what's the old saying? There's no kill like overkill.
I mean, I guess you could say that. Okay, you have nowhere to set that. You're gonna break something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna set it down. We have a full rack mount server that we are going to be getting up and running and have multiple clippers installed on it. So, you know, I've been looking for something that I could sit here and add expansion cards in and everything, and things just haven't been showing up. This one finally did it. So I'm going to be having 8 Ethernet ports on there. So each VM can have its own Ethernet port. I have at least 5 expansion slots that I can use. So plenty of USB ports to go out to main boards and things of that nature. And this computer actually has 7 300 gigabyte hard drives in it that we can use.
I'm just not sure where it's gonna go. It is rather large.
But we're gonna find a place for it.
Maybe, is there shelves on the corner underneath the desk? Maybe over there.
There's kind of a shelf back there.
We could build a bigger shelf.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, there's no kill like overkill. Well, this is kind of overkill for Clipper, but good lord, the amount of printers I'll be able to host off this one box is going to be insane. Yeah, Nemesis, the funny thing is, give me a second here. Those are actually the power supplies for it. It has 2 of these for redundancy.
What are those, 850 watts?
These are actually 800 watt power supplies.
Ah.
So, yeah, just a little bit of power that this thing can handle. You know, if one of them ever goes out, they're hot swappable. That's the thing I like about servers is, down under, it may be a bad idea. But it's an idea I've been wanting to do. So I'm going to have fun with it. And that being said, at the same time, I'm going to be going through a full Proxmox setup on this thing, doing multiple VMs. I'm even going to show you guys with your own domain how you can get access to your printers.
And Nemesis, that is one of the reasons why it's a bad idea.
Anywhere.
Because at that point, all that'll be left will be the Prusa.
So Nemesis, if the entire server goes down, then yes. If a single VM goes down, then that machine is down until I can reload the VM. Just like if a Raspberry Pi went down.
Well, down under, you know what long USB runs means. You just got to get some really, really nice cables. And we know where we can get those.
We have quite a few places to get them. But yep, so I'm waiting on 2 pieces to come in. One should be here soon. The other is...
Also, Tom, you have no idea how true that statement is. The amount of times I tried to talk him out of something stupid that I've already tried, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, it's different if I hadn't already tried it. and found it to be a stupid idea.
I do stupid things just because I can. There are going to be things that are done on this channel that have no reason to be done. But I just think it'd be fun.
I've tried too, Tom. I've tried too.
But we're gonna have fun. The good news is if this project doesn't work out, they all still have their Raspberry Pis. If it does work, I have a fun little thing that I got to do. So we'll be starting on this next stream to get everything kind of going in one. So, but with that, I've been Penguin Makers. The mysterious voice with the unknown face has been James Q. And go make something awesome.